otherwise, it is Thursday, 3:30, which means it's time for another OFCRA PvP commentary. We are at a 5-minute delay because that's how they like it, but for the video, it won't really affect anything too much. And this is against Blue 4, which are the Germans today, and Op 4, which are Russian VDV. Now, the simple scenario here is the Russians have planted 2 bombs, one on some trucks. Actually, I think both are on trucks. And you have to, the Blue 4 guys are going to have to defuse the bombs, but in order to get the information about the bombs, they have to break into an infiltrator cabin to get the right wire code. When I say that, I mean there's a script where in order to defuse the bombs, they have to cut a certain colored wire. There's a picture of that in the link on the mission command. But it's a blue wire, red wire, green wire. Actually, heck, I can just look at the image real quick. Trying to give this from memory. So red wire, green wire, yellow wire, blue wire, purple wire. And the only way they're going to be able to know which wire it is if they go to the infiltrator's cabin. There's some intel there that will tell them. At the Logi Depot, there is also another bomb. And this bomb has some GBUs that are rigged to blow that they have to defuse as well. Both sides are also going to get a tank. The Blue 4 guys have a Leopard. The Op 4 guys have a T-72. Blue 4 has Martyrs, and Op 4 also has BMP-3s as well. And then both sides also have some other armored vehicles. Op 4 apparently is going to get a BTR-80 Alpha, but it says a BMP-80A, so I think that's a mistype there. But Blue 4 is also going to get a Lush, so it's like a scout car. And then both sides are also getting Weasel. Germs are getting a Weasel. Op 4 is getting another BMP, or that might just be another BTR-80 Alpha. So there's a lot of autocannons today. And both sides are able to have their stuff stolen. So both sides get a tank, both sides get an IFE, both sides, the Germans get 2 different Weasels and a Lush, but Op 4 gets 2 BTR-80 Alphas and a BRDM with tows, so the missile BRDM. But both sides are able to steal each other's tanks, but not the other armored vehicles, interesting enough. But the cars both sides will be able to be stolen. So this is going to basically be a combined arms, but no air support style scenario for both sides, so that should be pretty interesting. Otherwise, there's basically 3 different bomb areas here, and if I were to tab out again, let me read out how both sides get points. So Op 4 gets a point for every truck that explodes in that circled area. Blue 4 gets a point for every bomb that doesn't explode in the area. And Blue 4 also gets an additional 2 points for defusing the bombs at the Logi site. And Op 4 has to get their tank in the orange zone at the end of the game, which is in here. Interesting. That's how they get 2 points. And then there's a supremacy bonus for either side for 2 points apiece. Okay. Weird objectives, but that does force Op 4 to put their vehicles somewhere in this AO, which is why it can be stolen. I guess for balancing reasons, the Blue 4 tank can also be stolen. So putting a tank in a town is not the best idea, but if the objective forces it, I guess that is just for a balancing concern. Otherwise, round will start soon, hopefully. And again, I will be replying to you guys if you ask something in chat. We'll be 5 minutes late, though, because of the delay. And I'm also drinking. Made myself a double of a Tokyo tea because Bloodwayne had a small fight over some financing stuff, and I just don't want to deal with it today, so hide under a bottle. It works. And then just in case I'm thirsty, I got a full glass of water, too, to keep hydrated. What I have learned, though, is never drink a quadruple Tokyo tea, because then I literally pass out. And then I miss my other ops for the day. But I've done a double and been fine, so I'll just pace myself a little bit better, even though I haven't eaten anything today. But hey, you know, liquid lunch. Otherwise, looking at these AOs, we've got a lot of open fields on Blue 4 side, so a lot of danger crossings here. I could see Blue 4 moving down to Stockin and staging from the direct south, but that logistic storage area is going to be tough. I think Op 4, we're just going to see them set up a decent defense around the infiltrator cabin, and then probably some defenses in Ostin. They don't have to immediately move their tank into this AO. They could probably just have it staged somewhere outside of it to try to engage Blue 4 armor as they move in. But with both sides having really powerful vehicles today, the infantry is going to have to be extra careful to make sure they're not doing any dumb maneuvers. And with all this open terrain, it's really going to limit infantry's capabilities. They're going to have to move in to city areas to try to stop Op 4, like either side, really. Because Op 4, I mean, they've got a nice defensive objective here that they can easily get to. It's just all forest cover, though, so it's going to be a little tough to get there. But it's really going to be a race to the middle. I think the Germans are going to have a slight advantage here, but Op 4 has an MSR they can ride all the way to that position, whereas the Germans are going to have to go a little off-road here. But we'll just have to see how this plays out. It could get very messy very quickly, but that's kind of what's fun about watching OFCRA is entire squads can get immediately dicked by an autocannon. And that just shows that both sides are really going to have to focus on being quick to deploy their forces here. Jeez, my phone's been blowing up today with a bunch of spam callers. I put my phone on the no-call list, but they keep calling. Probably start suing at this point, right? That's okay.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Werewolf, thanks for the follow. So, with this being OFCRA as well, other than the 5-minute delay, I will have to... whatchamacallit? I will be in TFAR to listen in on people, but once people start dying, I will mute myself in TFAR because then we can hear them globally, so... Oh, someone making Warhammer videos got poached? Ouch. I don't know who that is, but that has to suck. That's why I've, I mean, it's one of the minor reasons you haven't seen a lot of 40k stuff on my channel recently, but... Oh, alright. There is the transfer. We have a 10-minute warm-up.
Hello.
Yeah, boys.
Nieironicznie zaczęliśmy.
A lot of coloring right there. That's just TFAR trying to stabilize itself there. But otherwise, as I predicted, both sides are starting at the flags. But that's unfortunate. It's just one of those risks you got to take as a YouTuber, and you got to be careful with what you do, especially if you rely on it on income. But regardless, here we have the German side here. You can hear them locally.
Put 2A5 plus.
Yeah.
Why?
That's pretty good, Mr.
So G36's MP7s for the vehicle crews. The MP7 is actually a really good gun. It's like a 40-round magazine submachine gun, really good at close ranges. Mini-me's for the machine gunners.
I think there's a lot of
Got some carbine G36 variants as well. And who is the Blue 4 commander? McLean? No. No, it might actually be. Because he is alone in that command section. Doesn't have a beret on, though. Sometimes they use berets to make things prevalent. But nope, he's just got a helmet. So I believe McLean is going to command again. You see him command OFCRA all the time. He's a very good commander with this operational here. But we have the Leopard right here. It doesn't have... I thought this these two modules were combined, so it was like a, you know, you could fire that gun from inside, but no, they have to turn out to use it. So this is a 4-man tank here, but the BW tank is very, very powerful. I would say it could outperform the T-72 that Op 4 has, but my knowledge of BW compared to RHS in terms of their compatibility is about 6 months to a year old, so they might have adjusted it. But we do see some Panzerfausts, and I don't see any Bunkerfausts, though, so no HE launchers. But Bunkerfaust could be given to this side if the
Test radio, test.
AT is given to, if the RSHG tubes are given to OPFOR, which are the thermobaric anti-infantry, but it looks like they also have crew-served weapons in the form of MG3s here. And that's ironically given to the machine gunner to help carry, even though he's going to be putting fire downrange with that weapon as well. But I'm also seeing magnified optics in play, but it looks like that's only given to the squad leaders here. Which makes sense. That's a nice benefit to give the squad leaders, give them slightly better gear so they have an increment to help lead. Mikkel also has magnified optics, so we're probably going to see PSO scopes on OPFOR's leadership elements. But we have the tank, the Marauder, and we have an AT Weasel and an MG Weasel there. I'm looking for the Lush, though, that has armament. There it is. Yeah, so it's got a nice 20mm autocannon there. That thing also has a pretty... Yeah, so that vehicle and the Marauder both have really nasty fire rates for their autocannons. They're probably the deadliest vehicles in the AO because of those fast fire rates. But the Lush can easily get picked off. Honestly, by anything, because it's very lightly armored, but the Marauder is a much bigger threat, and that gun turret can be lifted over like a wall and have really good coverage. So if they played the play a defensive card with the Marauder, they could keep it very well protected and still have that gun turret just absolutely annihilate everything. But let's look at OPFOR real quick. Russian GRU. Their kits are really powerful. We saw that in last week's PvP operation. They have a mix of AK-103s, I believe, and AS Vals and other suppressed weaponry. But their armor is also really, really good. So they've got NPZ rails and they've got vanilla RCOs on their guns, which is fair. I mean, that's a match for the ACOG. You got the AS Val right there. We're seeing some tandem heat warheads here. Those are going to be more powerful than what Bluefor has with their Panzerfausts. But we are seeing two BTR-80 Alphas. We have a flipped over Gaz over here. That's pretty funny. You got the 5-shot missile BRDM. I doubt the GMGs are actually there, but they also have a BMP-3, but it's like, you know how the Marauder has an elevated platform, whereas this is like the entire module. So it's smaller in height. And then we have an up-armored T-72 with the NPZ back, not the NPC, excuse me, the MPT, but that might also be a Cord, I can't remember. But it's 12.7 gun. Just, I think that's 12.7 caliber. Yeah, I'm seeing all the AT guys with the tandem heat, so their range for AT is going to be shorter compared to the Panzerfaust on Bluefor, but they're going to have a lot more of a kick. A lot of different languages you're hearing. It's a lot to work with there. Flying Ganger, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope you get a kick out of this scenario.
The only way to destroy her is that we actually get here.
Greetings from the OPFOR faction.
We had until now, okay. There's activate.
Alright. So both sides have armed transport, but the I mean, the Bluefor ones can just turn out, but the OPFOR ones cannot, so it's a good thing to consider. Let's go ahead and look at these AOs. First off, the infiltrator cabin, quote-unquote, it is literally just a cabin. There is a document that Bluefor has to read to know what to disable. Some pretty decent detail, and that's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and look at the logistics storage area here. It's literally just a logi position with this blue building containing a custom interior, and here are the explosives. They have to interact with this small device here, and that will ask them what wire to cut. They have a little bonnet there. And if they get the right one, it's diffused. If they don't, it explodes, and OPFOR gets 2 points. They have another one up there. That's cute. Flowers to celebrate with, or die with, I guess. Got a cooked out... no, that's the other German IFE. Forget what it's called, though. And then let's go ahead and look at the truck sites here. Here's the first truck. To interact with the bombs, they're these things right here, the truck batteries. Those are being their impromptu bomb textures there. And then the other one to the north, which I believe, yep, just making sure it is over here. They're tied to fuel trucks here. And they've got a little bit, I like how they have a good chunk of civilian Vics around here as well. Otherwise, looking from above, I'm trying to see if there's any fortified military positions built up. It doesn't really look like it, other than this one little checkpoint here. Oh, we got another one. This is actually a checkpoint texture, but they just put it here to, I guess, give some additional fortifications to guard the center of the AO. But looking at this AO, there actually isn't a lot of places that tank can hide. We have a few storage buildings, some garages, but I know they don't open. And then they have the big wire shed here. That could also fit some stuff, but I mean, other than a few garage buildings as well, I think the tank can fit in there, but it's going to be a very tight fit. There are a few good places they could stash the tank in this AO, but I think for the moment they're going to really try to utilize it as a combat weapon first, but if it gets destroyed, that's 2 points denied to OFCRA early on, so we'll just have to see what side is able to get the advantage here. I think Blue 4 is going to be able to get into the AO first, but OFCRA is going to be really quick to set up because their MSR actually leads them right to this area. So I'm not sure if we'll see early dismounting or what, but you can see all of these open fields around this AO that, given time, a side could easily get everything set. So that was the, they've got a bunch of scripts that run in the beginning, some to freeze players in place, some to lock vehicles and unlock them and reset view distances. So that was what that was going. You're a 20mm autocannon. Yeah, so this is just one round. OFCRA is a French community, but they're a multinational community that allows for anyone. You're absolutely right, Don. We completely forgot the prediction. So let me go ahead and put a prediction up real quick. I'm sorry about that. We'll only put it up for 5 minutes. But let me go ahead. Who will win this round of OFCRA? And since we're on a 5-minute delay, it should be fine. I knew I was forgetting something today. It's only going to be for 5 minutes, though, so we'll go ahead and put that up. Anyway, mission has started, so it's a perfect 5-minute timer because we have a 5-minute delay distance. Not delay distance, delay to the stream. And again, it's one round. It lasts an hour and a half.
42 months.
And the difference between...
Years. Older, drunker, and buying houses. And that's just you.
Yeah, right, FK. Thanks so much for the 42-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. But as I was saying, hour and a half round, much more focus with use of other vehicles like air and armor compared to FNF, but this extra time allows the players to deploy a lot more strategically and have time to do much more complex maneuvers. And the map is generally a lot bigger as well. So there's OFCRA taking the tank over. It's followed by quite a few Gazes, both BTR-80 Alphas, and we have the BRDM with the tow launcher out over here, and I believe the IFV, no, that's the tank, the IFV's down here. That is going on its own with some of the cars following, actually. So a lot of the cars are following the IFV. Looking over at what Blue 4 took, we have one of the transport, forget what it's specifically called, but one of the transport APCs moving in. We got some of the transport cars also driving into the AO. And we have both Weasels and an infantry of just actually a few guys moving with them to the north. And what is this? Blue 4 is actually sending one of their Marauders, their Leopard, and multiple transport vehicles, and the Marauder down south. in a very large-scale flank. That means they're going to probably come down to Roche and then cut left. And then I guess attack from the south. Well, no. No, they have to be planning a more elaborate flank than that, because otherwise they would have taken this road to flank from the south. So why are they going that far around? I mean, shouldn't they just take this MSR to stay on the southern flank, unless they're thinking OPFOR is going to be direct on the south, so they're trying to plan around what OPFOR might do and set up even further south, possibly all the way in Ratslingen. Which I guess makes sense, because OPFOR is deploying stuff to the south, but that's very elaborate plan around their plan, so we will plan around the plan that they are planning around. Like, this is a very weird deployment strategy. It was a Puma. That was the name of that wrecked Vic in the logistics storage area. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna take a sip. So far, OPFOR has pretty weird deployment here. They're going to probably put their tank on reserve, actually, and just keep it over here, which makes sense because it's tied to an objective. They want to keep it safe. I am seeing, though, that there is an APC here. Does have a few guys in. I just don't get a top number. It seems to have glitched out. But the IFV for OPFOR is deploying right here to potentially overwatch this area. But now it is cutting north instead. To now cover this area here. Yeah, I would assume they'd have high view distances because it is an armor fight, but now they're cutting south. Both sides really elaborately planned this, and OPFOR sending forces to... This is making my head hurt, and I'm not even tipsy yet. Like, what is this planning? There's no point for either side to be down in Ratslingen. Multiple clicks from the AO, but this is another thing we see in OFCRA PvPs, because both sides know they have a lot more time, so they can plan a lot more elaborate flanks. But this is ridiculous. Now we're getting... The Scout Lukes is coming over, and it's going to be within striking range of the BMP-3. Both vehicles are capable of taking each other out, because the... I forget what the exact designation of it is, but the scout car that the Germans have has the fire rate and the AP ammunition to take out the BMP, but the BMP has both the autocannon and that main cannon to take out the scout car. But if Blue 4 gets their shot lined up properly and a good spread in, the BMP-3 is screwed. But if the BMP-3 lines up its main cannon and gets a perfect shot on the scout car, then the scout car is screwed. So both of them are really going to be glass cannons in this situation. Meanwhile, we have OPFOR deploying around the cabin here. They brought a BTR-80 Alpha up to assist. And Blue 4 has also set up around the logistics area. So I think they're looking at it to see what wire to make sure it all works. So I think they're talking about, you know, making sure not to defuse it because they don't know the answer right now. They're looking at the flowers. Blue 4 sending the Weasels up north to flank around. Possibly to stage on the infiltrator camp. That's not a bad call. And Blue 4 has deployed one of their squads here. Honestly, in these open areas, I get setting up good staging positions, but with so many autocannons in play, and with the big ranges of these open areas, nullifying any side's AT capabilities, you really don't want to engage from those positions, rather just use it for scouting data. I could potentially see Blue Fort getting one of their AT hits on this this APC technically, but if they miss, they're dead. Because those are that's a single shot of AT. So the question becomes, are they going to potentially try to risk it? I don't think there's enough time for them to adjust, because even then, it's still like a 200-meter shot. It's meant to be a modern-day style scenario. All right, so you got the scout car for the Germans here, kind of driving around. Both could have been spotted, either the scout car or the BMP. They were both in the same sector here. But I think they're just going to pull it back or maybe re-angle it. Oh, that's funny. Do they notice? If they notice that it pulled off right there, they could just run an AT guy up here and just boop it. Because I think he's going to stop there and just stage. If Blue Fort could knock out some of OPFOR's autocannon Vics early on, that would give them a significant advantage. But I don't think they saw it turn. Because yeah, all he would need to do is pull back, move up, and he could not, like, really shorten the distance to hit that Vic. Hold up. All right, so Blue Fort and OPFOR are in this southern town here. Let me quickly look around. Yep, this is the main fight going on right now. Blue Fort pushing on OPFOR. They're... All right, so now they got a Gaz chasing one of Blue Fort's Vics. They just try to keyhole Fleesh.
Un ennemi au 80 223. C'est quoi ce bordel?
On est repéré.
Oh, friendly's just... And the Gaz is coming around, trying to hit Bluck here. This is actually funny to listen to. Normally you don't listen to their, like, in-game communications.
There's people inside, people inside, people inside.
You got Tackle in the corner right here. He gets taken out. Nubas turned his lag switch on. What the actual fuck?
Fight me, you bastard! Go on!
Alright, looks like Nubas' lag switch stopped. He's crippled, but he's okay. Now Bob Winchester went down to Rizbo. Rizbo's now trying to pick off Lemur here.
C'est des fous furieux.
Now you can hear some of the dead guys speaking.
Stop moving, you spastic! I'm about to crash! Stop moving, you spastic! There's another enemy downstairs, I think! There isn't, I cleared the room, man, don't worry!
On est loin du compte.
Shit, your leg's still bleeding, help it!
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was,
20 seconds until the game crashes. Yeah.
Il reste qui?
I never realized how memey this was.
Rizbo.
Rizbo et Merdi.
So the two dead guys that are on OPFOR, they're dead, but they're talking about Rizbo here.
Alfred. Alfred qui est dans la Jeep. Putain, comment c'est... Catastrophe. Oui, mais pour le coup, la baraque où on est allé...
We got Murdy back here who's dismounted. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself because that's why I usually don't listen to TFAR and FNF because, you know, dead people automatically start speaking. But OPFOR have a few guys that are now starting to come around this Blue Fort group, so it could quickly turn around. Murdy just got spotted. He's being shot at. Keyholed through the barns here. He hasn't realized it yet, though. What? What just... But... What? And he just... I'm confused. I'm very, very confused. Yes, this will be on the Shenanigans channel for YouTube. I turned that into the PvP channel. So Murdy goes down. I have no idea to what. Also, I thought I saw this Vic come back down. I don't know if Blue 4 spotted it or not. And you still have the Weasels slowly coming around, so this fight is being on the southern side, but Blue 4's tank is being moved in. Jafar unloading with that PKP, managing to knock out the gunner. He is only unconscious, though. He's not dead. And that tank, I think, is also shooting coax at that vehicle. And Rizbo, I think, just dead the Blue 4 transport Vic. Yep. So Rigel is back here. He's looking back, wondering what that was about. But OPFOR is not going to send any reinforcements down there, so it is just up to these 4 remaining guys to fight through at least 2 squads worth of Blue 4 and Blue 4 vehicles. It's going to be a tough fight. But I think if OPFOR can do a lot of damage here, they might be able to put Blue 4 in a position they cannot recover from. As I say that, Rigel just killed one of them. Rizbo's now trying to look around and see what's going on. I think that was Alfred. Yep. He's going to shoot Rigel in the back. Gets a great spray on him. So hard that his body took a second to register it was dead. Ooh, Jafar almost getting killed. Was able to save death there. And Rizbo going down as he was engaged in a 2v1. Not looking good for OPFOR right here. Jafar's pulled back. He's going to catch Bluck out of position. Manages to take him down. So from what I can tell, OPFOR, when they get Blue 4 on a 1v1, are able to handle it. But when Blue 4 presses their number advantage, they're able to succeed. So Bluck had a radio on him. He was in the same group that some of these guys were in, and he is now dead. He was their squad leader. But NASA here, who's part of a different squad, will hopefully be able to rally these guys. We're also seeing OPFOR starting to take some of Blue 4's weaponry here in the form of RPGs. And some of their AKs as well. I mean, then again, I do agree with that choice, because that's the one with an RCO scope. So it gives them a better range engagement there. Jafar, he's gone into this building. I think he's doing some medical for himself. Not a bad call there. Zixme trying to get some elevation here, not realizing that he has a lot of forces to work with in elevation. Gets a great headshot on Adam. Throws a grenade out there. Garrett, though, gets a great headshot back. And he's able to avoid that grenade. Wow. These one-to-one trades are really biting it. I would say for OPFOR here, but let's look at the skull count. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But Dreedy, that's just an AI that died. So one-to-one trades, I mean, nothing significant. Both sides don't really have an advantage after this fight. Other than Blue 4 gaining a few OPFOR weapons that in the long run aren't really going to matter because the real show is going to be the armor engaging each other. But we still have a potential upset here from Jafar. And this means Blue 4 is just going to slowly encroach on the infiltrator cabin. But with their forces this divided, there might be a case of defeat in detail here. If Blue 4 keeps rallying their forces like this to clean up OPFOR. The question then becomes, can OPFOR get enough of Blue 4 knocked out for those attacks to basically for Blue 4 to have less men to keep pushing to waves of Op 4, and eventually attrition will take its toll on the Blue 4 force. So what Jafar needs to do right now is he has the best weapon right now for short-range engagements. Blue 4 doesn't have an MG3. They just have the mini-me's, so it doesn't have that super quick fire rate. I'm just worried about Jafar because he just stuck his gun out the window. I'm not sure if Barrow saw that. He did not. He's not looking up there. But this Blue 4 group is going to probably make mincemeat out of him. Alright, sorry. Bloodway and I were making a final budget for the new place we're getting, closing on the 3rd of June, so it's exciting. But that should hopefully be my only interruption there. So we got Barrows moving up to this position, scrolling out, looking at the other AOs. Blue 4 still has that one group right there. That BTR 80, though, keeps moving around. The 80 Alpha, excuse me. And the Weasels are repositioning to potentially travel around to Etzendorf. And potentially try to stage from the north there. So Jafar has his gun down. I'm not sure if he's trying to listen in to Blue 4 or if he's just gone AFK for a second. He has the doors shut, so there's no indication that he's in here, but those bandages and medical might give him away if someone looks in. But Blue 4 is just doing soft clearing here to move stuff around, but Jafar needs to have an exit strategy, because even with that PKP, he's not going to be able to take all these guys out. So I think his best bet is to just listen in, watch them pass, but I have a feeling he's just going to engage whatever he sees and just get surrounded. Oop. Gunshots right here. I think they blew on blued for a second, thinking each other was enemy. Jafar's coming down the stairs. Going out the back, right where Benares is. Might catch Benares out of position. Yep. Knocks him out. Blue 4 realizing that someone might have been in that building. They're going to see Benares down. And now Blue 4 is going to turn around and start homing in on this structure. Jafar, though, taking some shots. Gets Romulus knocked out. I call him Romulus. It's Romuldus. Both of them can be medic back up, though. Jafar, not in a good spot here. I don't think he was... Oh, no, he was hit. That might have been him bleeding out, though, from the other thing. But now they know he's here. He's trying to fall back. He's trying to shoot out the window, but he can't. Not sure if Jafar saw his antenna. That MG still trying to suppress here. Jafar trying to go for this window, this door. Yep. Not sure if the Vic saw him. Oh. Oh, Barrows might spot him. Oh, and he's shot in the back like a dog. I don't think he's waking up. That was too many shots. Yeah, Nemeth's delayed. So I think there might be more. Do we have a medic on standby? I don't see any medical marking, so I don't know who's the medic, but, I mean, 2 for 1 isn't too bad. He also got a 3rd kill there, but we'll see if they're able to save anyone. But you gotta also consider Op4 is technically on the defensive here, so they want to eat up the clock as much as they can. 21 minutes out of the 1:30 have passed. Snake Doctor coming up to Benares and starting to work on him. Both of them are probably going to need medical attention, though, and they double tap Jafar, and he is now dead. So we got the Marauder. They deployed the camo net on the Vic. It's cute. Otherwise, they've got the Marauder and the Leopard up here just overwatching outside the town as other Blue 4 groups have basically, I guess, licked their wounds and are checking around for other forces. So we'll see if these guys are able to be saved. Well, FNF has had tanks in the past. It's rare, though, but OFCRA, I mean, for example, they've got multiple autocannons on each side. There's 2 BTR-80 Alphas and a BMP-3 on OP4. And Blue 4 has the German scout car, a Marauder, and a autocannon Weasel and a tow Weasel. But Romuldus died. I keep calling him Romulus. They're trying to save Benares here, and I think they might be able to save him. So Jafar ended up going 2 for 1, so he doesn't get any points attributed to him, though, because they were bleed-outs. Alright, we're seeing some blood go in because of that different animation. Nope, that's CPR. And I just saw some blood spawn, so he's still... No, I think that's just the blood textures overlapping and clipping into each other. I don't see any actual fresh blood here. So they got him bandaged up, so now they're trying to do CPR. Alright. I think they'll be able to save him. That's a blood bag. So that'll raise his blood pressure and he should be fine. That 80 Alpha, I'm surprised it, I mean, they got the commander turned out and looking, but with it being there for so long, I'm surprised they haven't spotted any of these guys. It just means they're not immediately on the edge. They're kind of folded in, actually. They do have some trenches dug, though, just in case, but they're on the back line, which is smart, so they're not openly spotted. But I think we're going to have another 10 minutes of downtime here as Blue 4 licks their wounds and plans to spearhead into this area. And I could see Op4 becoming defeated in detail here, with just how divided their forces are. But anything is still possible. Alright. So I think Op4's commander is all the way back here. I never actually went and checked who it was, but I believe it is Lolo. So he's commanding from the back line here. Still within LR range, though. I'm really surprised that Blue 4 hasn't sent anything on the northern side, instead choosing their attack on the southern side without sending anything north, because that means Op4 has properly predicted that they don't need to put any defensive lines to the north. And it's really helped them out. But it looks like Op4 might actually abandon the infiltrator cabin, because all Blue 4 needs to do is get there and then fold back and disarm the explosives. So I think Op4 thinks that Blue 4's main attack wave is only going to come from the south. So they're comfortable pulling away from that physical position, instead of reinforcing what might come from the south itself. Interesting. So I gotta wonder what these recon guys have been able to spot here. They're digging up some more trenches. I have to assume that they've at least spotted the BTR-80 over here. The BTR-80 has been just looking around on binos, trying to overwatch this open field, but looks like the bush is right here. This bush is creating a blind spot that has not allowed them to spot anything that this force is doing. Because I think the top of that hatch might be spottable by the BTR, but there's just so many different bushes in the way that, you know, it just creates a blind spot, unfortunately. Because it's right there, yeah, so not just the hatch, it'd actually have a very good view on it. But because of that bush, even the gun's even, like, staring right at it, too. That's the funny part. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, so Benares was brought back up. They're loading them back in the vehicle. They still have the other Blue 4 group in this town because their Vic blew up. So I'm going to wonder if they're going to get in the other Vic or are they going to get in the back of the Marauder, because I think the Marauder can take infantry in the back. Yeah, it's got some spots back here for 5. Nope, 3, 6. It can take 6, which... yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. But it looks like they partially repaired this vehicle, or they're just on the gun. But either way... I don't know. If the BTR doesn't spot that infantry group, I think Blue 4 is just going to push in, lead with the tank, potentially take out that BTR-80. But we'll just have to see how that BMP comes around. You know, where is the scout car? It would be that marker. I believe. Or no, those are the weasels. The scout car was last spotted over here. Oh, it got engaged. No, that means the BMP took it out. That or it was the BTR-80 Alpha that took it, but the crew is dead. Okay, so Op4's lost their... Yep, BMP took it out. Didn't even notice because we were busy with the southern fight. So that's one of Blue 4's autocannon Vics that are down. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how things go. Yeah, righto, Nemesis. See you tomorrow. Alright, I'm waiting to see either that symbol start flashing to engage that position or these guys rally to push up. We are at the 40-minute mark, which means we've had a third of the time pass in-game after that 10-minute save start. Ooh, what the fuck? Someone just got teleported off. I think that was just an Ace Dragon glitch. But I think Blue 4 is just worried about their logistics right now. But it looks like they got the gas working. No, they brought a Blue 4 car over. That can only take 4 people, but maybe the Marauder can take everyone else. So it's really just the bottleneck here is Blue 4 trying to fix their logistic issues. And they've got both Weasels now going even further north to give these areas a wide berth. I think because they think that Op4 might be in Otstendorf. I mean, especially after losing the Lux, which I believe is a scout car. I can understand why they would take that precaution. But BMP is being redeployed here. Some of Op4's infantry are being stretched along the north. They got these infantry watching the MSR that is going northeast, and they got the BTR-80 Alpha watching their south. So they've got really good coverage all around with 2 autocannons. But are they moving? They are moving it. That could, if the BTR-80 pulls up to that infantry group, that could create a blind spot here that could perfectly allow Blue 4 to push, because I think Op4 is thinking maybe Blue 4 repositioned and went straight north into Stockton. Meanwhile, Op4's had a more proactive defense here. They brought up a BTR-80 Alpha up into this position to hold as a bit of a front piece, and they've also brought the BRDM with the AT up here, the anti-guided tank missiles. Anti-tank guided missiles, ATGMs, that would be it. Along with some infantry around to watch that northern flank. But yeah, BTR completely repositioned. And the tank is now scouting as the rest of Blue 4 figures out this logistics issue. I mean, I think they could also fit everyone in this APC, in all honesty. Between that and the car. Worst comes to worst, they could also use the Marauder, but I don't think they want to have an infantry burden within it because they want it to do more Overwatch duties like the tank. The BMP is actually being pulled back. Now you're hearing that Marauder start its engine up. They're standing by to move out. Probably an attack from the south. Blue 4 is still holding defensive in the logistics storage place in case OFCRA tries to counterattack and take that position. And those Marauders, yep, giving Otzendorf a wide berth here, trying to do a horseshoe. Let's see, tank has pushed up right here. It is watching their right in these open areas. And OPFOR is moving their infantry on foot with the BTR supporting. I think they're thinking that there's enemy forces in Stockton because they saw the Lush there. But I could be wrong. So I think because of that, they think there's more Blue 4 groups in Stockton, so they're trying to make this attack, which is why they restaged it. Yep, OPFOR, that's exactly what OPFOR is doing. They're having the BMP support this group of infantry, not realizing that the Blue 4 guys were using that as a scouting vehicle. But this is going to open how do you say? I can't pronounce German, I'm sorry. To allow Blue 4 to push in and take it. But what I'm worried about now is will the tank spot that vehicle and snipe it? Because that's where the BTR is right now. Those are where the infantry are. But I want to see if this tank pushes up. Looks like they're actually dismounting. They might have their driver get out and just do some recon before they expose the tank to something. That would make sense, though. But otherwise... yeah, they're also checking their far right. They've got Callie that's gotten out. He might be able to spot that BTR-80 moving. But OPFOR is definitely trying to make a plan on Stockton because of that Lush. I hope it's called a Lush. Otherwise, I'm sorry that I've been using the wrong name. All right. What is that firing in the distance? Is that the BTR or BMP? So Marauder's moving up to where that other infantry group is. Yeah, so it's the BTR-80, I think, putting some shots in the Lush. Just to make sure it's taken out. Because OPFOR's not allowed to steal that Vic, mind you. But I'm wondering, is that going to allow the tank to feel comfortable pushing up to potentially try to engage it and get a free snipe on a vehicle? Especially one with an autocannon. I mean, that would be a big plus for Blue 4. Here comes the tank. So I just heard a shot there. Thought I heard like a rocket shot or something. Yep, they pushed up to the edge of the tree line. But there's a little bit of defilade cover in this roaming terrain that is shielding the BTR. So they're not going to be able to see it from here. Now the Weasels are moving from the immediate north. They might be able to harass the northern garrison on the infiltrator cabin, but they're going to be very slow to move in because they're going to be cautious about those woods. It's a good thing that BTR-80 did move from that position, otherwise the Marauder would have made mincemeat out of it from this angle. But otherwise, it's just a waiting game. OPFOR is trying to eat up as much as the clock as they can. And Blue 4 is using their time to slowly move up to the infiltrator camp, but not, you know, take too long, otherwise they're going to lose outright. So I think they're timing it. By the time the Weasels have an overwatch position on the infiltrator cabin to cover Blue 4 pushing from the south, Blue 4 will be in a good striking position to get to the cabin. So OPFOR is going to continue their push into Stockton and realize that it's a dud. But they won't be in a position to provide a blocking position to those Blue 4 troops. So that could potentially mean the tank is going to be exposed here and taken out by the Blue 4 advance. The only Vics that they're allowed to steal are cars and each other's transport APCs. And the tanks. Those are the only three. They're not allowed to steal each other's IFVs or autocannon vehicles or Weasels. So, again, OPFOR is not allowed to steal that one Vic. Normally the tanks wouldn't be stealable, but because one of the tanks is tied to an objective, they did allow for it to be stolen. And then they'd obviously have to make the Blue 4 tank stealable as well. But I think they're going to have the tank just sit here and see if he can see anything in the town, and Blue 4 is going to make a decision to eventually push in. Blue 4 just knows that once they push in, they're going to be really exposed. And they don't want an OPFOR Vic to snipe them as they make that push in. It's a really weird play that both sides are... Well, no, Blue 4's isn't weird. OPFOR's does kind of confuse me. I think it's just some misinformation. What I'd be willing to bet is Lolo was given an overestimate of Blue 4's forces in Stockton itself, which made Lolo make the call to do this twin attack with a northern overwatch, but there's nothing in there for him to attack, which is the issue, because his BMP already took out the Blue 4 Scout Vic. But I think they thought that Blue 4 would be using that Vic differently as an infantry support vehicle instead. But this is a really good example of what the fog of war is in one of these types of operations. You don't know what the enemy's doing, and the enemy doesn't know what you're doing, so it can make for these really weird plays sometimes. Otherwise, tank going on the move here, might go up to this pond, come around, I would assume left, so it can still support the Blue 4 push from the south here. And we're also seeing the Weasels start to come in on the edge of this tree line. This will be something to watch here, because they've got a little bit of good terrain to work with here. It's on a slight hill, and they might be able to see some of OPFOR's forces here, but there is a bit of a drop-off right here, so they're actually not going to be able to see anything. That's going to be tough. And it's really hard to read that on this terrain. You're not going to know, like, you'll know this is a bump, but you don't know how steep that bump is until you actually physically go out there and see it. So as I said, Tank was going to pull up to the left side of the pond. It doesn't want to go on the right side to overextend, despite possibly thinking that OPFOR is pushing over there based off of the firing of the Vic. I think Blue 4 hunkered down a bit because they didn't know where that Vic was firing. They thought that OPFOR might have spotted their advance. So that's why they're incredibly cautious. That's why you also had this group dismount over here and push around. But with that far of a dismount, yeah, no, that does show me that Blue 4 was spooked by that autocannon fire, and they had a wide flank here. But the question then becomes, are they going to have to walk back and grab their Vic again? That's going to eat up a lot of time. So someone's going to have to ferry them back. But they can probably do that with the Marauder. So OPFOR starting to enter the edges of the town with that northern group, BMP overwatching from this one area here. The other group is at the edge of town with the 80 Alpha supporting. And we have the Weasels that are dismounting, potentially I think they're gunners actually, yep. Just to come out here and look around, but I don't think they're going to be able to spot what they want from here because of this drop-off is going to cover any OPFOR forces pretty well. I thought that was a goat. No, that's the turret turning. The only issue I see right now is Blue 4 taking too much time to get to the infiltrator cabinet at this point, because we're about to hit... We're actually at the, 55, so 45-minute mark. So there's only 45 minutes remaining of this round. But with the amount of time it's taken Blue 4 to get to this cabin, they just have to get the intel and then rally it to the Logi group here. And then they can just defuse the weapon and get 2 points. But they'll still need to go into the other AO and defuse the bombs there as well. I always like that sight. It allows this guy to stay low in his foxhole and fire on this tripod. So the gunner is actually pretty well protected if you dig a decent foxhole there. But he can still get good eyes on the enemy. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, if there was anything on the southern edge of this town, that is a dead giveaway of them. So, I don't think Blue 4 needs to be that tactical about this. But it looks like they are starting to move their tank up. I don't think either side's gonna have any engagement in this town unless OPFOR immediately turns around. But I think after OPFOR is done with they're either gonna pull back to the infiltrator camp or they're gonna start taking the truck bomb sites and then potentially move to the logistical area. Am I going to start doing ops with the new Vietnam DLC? Not at this time. I don't have anything scheduled for it. But here is Blue 4's vehicle push here. They're pushing with the camo net on. That's pretty funny. It's also kind of terrifying. That's very terrifying, actually. Could be a tank. Could be a Marauder. Who knows? I certainly don't. Now, I wonder if they're going to actually spot that BTR. Hold up. That is the Weasel firing. And it hit this gas and caused some damage, knocked someone out in the vehicle because they pulled a little forward and were able to be spotted. That's the autocannon weasel firing. ATGM also being fired. Geez, that gas can take a freaking beating. Oh, I should not have opened my mouth. Chicago pulling out the AT, not realizing where he's been engaged from. Firing at... I don't know. What's up with OFCRA and spotting ghosts today? That's the second time that's happened, where they just fire in a random direction. But the Weasels are now pulling back. They're being used as hit-and-run assets here. They did get one kill off of that and destroy one vehicle. And you also have the Loosh that was detonated over here. No! The BTR-80 got engaged by the tank. Oh, yeah. No, it totally got hit by the frickin' tank. Guns pointing in that direction. Yep, so Callie, who's in the commander seat, he gets the point because commander seats get the points for whatever reason. So OFCRA is starting to slowly lose assets here. It's not a good call. I think there's a little bit of imbalance with the fact that OFCRA has to be a lot more defensive about their tank than Blue 4, but I also understand it's because the AO is rigged so that OFCRA gets to play defense. Even so, I think OFCRA spread their forces a little too thin here. But I can understand that if they had a tighter formation, then there would be very little chance for OFCRA to actually recover. So I think they just blew up the Loosh there too out of principle. But I didn't even hear that tank shell go off. It's just a little... very quiet there. So OFCRA's infantry have folded back slightly. I think they're trying to figure out what took out their 80 Alpha and what's causing those explosions. Right now, I'm just waiting to see where this infantry group is going to reposition to. Are they going to fold back and try to hold the cabin, or are they going to go and try to hold the bomb sites? We have 40 minutes remaining. Clock is going to slowly count down. Blue 4 could also just be trying to really time getting to the infiltrator cabin down to the wires so they can quickly defuse the logistics storage area and give OFCRA no time to rush over there and stop them. That could be another vital strategy that Blue 4 is going for. It's tough to tell, though. Cookaf has stopped on the vehicle. Blue 4 is having a few forces start to enter the perimeter of the truck areas. And Blue 4's fully deployed its group in Reistendet. My best guess on pronunciation. What's scaring me, though, is OFCRA has that tank right here. But I think they're remounting. They're going to either try to go snipe assets to the south, or they're going to reposition it. Which at this point, they might try to push it closer to the orange zone. I think they have Lolo watching the infiltrator cabin personally. He's literally just watching it from the outside with the door open. Just trying to blend in. So now the question becomes, where is Blue 4 going to attack from this time? They have a Vic. Oh, they knocked down a tree, and they're using that to overwatch from the western side of the city. But, I mean, the next logical step, I guess, would to either go to Russian spawn and then Massendorf to do a flank. Or just go directly from the south to north. They've got Op4 in the fence right here. They keep looking around. I think with all these bushes down, they're not going to be able to spot the tank, but the tank's definitely not going to spot them because the tank is busy watching this area. So you notice there's a -1 on Roland here because he was the one, he was in the commander's seat when they shot and destroyed the Lush. All of that said, Op4, their full roster's definitely looking lighter than Blue 4, so I think Blue 4 has a pretty big advantage right now, but Op4 still has time on their side. Actually, no, with about 35, 36 minutes remaining, Blue 4 still has the time advantage here. I think they're just intentionally draining the clock to allow no room for Op4 to recover in some sort of push out. But I could see this force regrouping, pushing to the bomb truck areas, and then pushing a force to the logistics storage and trying to pull the rug out from Blue 4, because we are seeing Op4 taking their tank and this Vic and starting to go north with it. It's more east, actually, but Weasels also have dismounted, pulling back, thinking that Op4 might try to do some sort of aggressive retaliation. We're just not seeing it. Definitely this round has been more of a game of the mind, though. Last week's with the vaccines, it was a lot more of, you could see who was going to win a little earlier on because one side's tactics were definitely superior to the others. Here, we are seeing that a little bit, but I think Op4 is just trying to play things a little more defensively, and they got some bad intel about stalking. But they're still in a good position to redeploy and still prevent Blue 4 from scoring, because just because Blue 4 gets to the infiltrator cabin doesn't mean it's game over. Op4 can just easily push in and then hold the logistics storage and the bomb sites, and they still have plenty of manpower to do that. Reading chat, Op4 is getting a bit of a pincer here. This was Blue 4's strategy entirely, with the Weasels overwatching from the north, and Blue 4 now starting to move their forces from the direct south. We're probably going to see the infiltrator cabin get touched in another 12 to 15 minutes, give or take. Maybe even shorter, but I think Blue 4 is going to continue to play this cautiously. With the Marauder and tank on both flanks overwatching, though, even if Op4 knew this was coming, it would be really difficult to stop. The only chance I see Op4 having of stopping something like that is if they methodically put their BMP-3 in a position to basically snipe one of those two vehicles. Like I said earlier, Op4 doesn't know this is coming, and instead they're starting to push their forces from Stalken into the defensive AO, which is what I figured they would do in this situation. They know there's a Blue 4 force to the south, but they haven't known its whereabouts for a good 25-30 minutes. They know they lost a BTR-80 to a tank to the south, and they don't want to deal with it, so the best thing to do would just be to push everything north and play the objectives themselves instead of trying to hunt it down because they don't have anything to hunt it down. The one asset that could is completely out of position watching against weasels, attacking from the north or whatever that autocannon might have been. The only issue I see with Blue 4 is time. If Op 4 takes this time to attack the logistics storage and hold that, I think they could win. So just because Blue 4 has an advantage right here doesn't mean that Op 4 is completely out. Because I could still see Lolo changing gears on his plan, playing it aggressive for the last 15-20 minutes, and then denying Blue 4 the ability to defuse the bombs. Now, funny enough, we could see the Op 4 tank spot these vehicles coming up and just snipe them. But they're not in the direction to see it because they think... I feel like Op 4 is completely forgotten about the force to the south. I think there's a possibility that this Vic is going to... Nope, they actually stopped short, which is smart. They're pushing a little past their Overwatch elements here. So there's a little bit of a risk in that. But Op 4, I think, is getting tunnel vision now and taking these sites. So now they're also starting to set the truck bombs to Blue 4, which means they're defused. So Op 4 is going to start getting prompts about that. If you notice, the color has just gone to blue instead. So I think we're going to see this force counterattack and then try to hit the logistics area. But can Blue 4 take the infiltrator camp, defuse the bomb first? Because if they can and the bomb gets defused, there's no point in Op 4 attacking this section, instead holding that area out. And then getting the tank in there for their additional 2 points, which is why they're probably going to be really defensive about it. But this is what's worrying me right now. So where is that commander facing? So he's looking forward, opposite of where his character's pointing. He had to have heard that Vic, though. There's no way he didn't. That guy's also turned out. He's turning the PKM over. Blue 4 is going to dismount right here. Oh, no. Benares and Barrows dismounted. Oh, no. Ricky Sav also coming around. Benares, I think, might have heard that engine. The tank is right there, and Benares has AT. You think the Vic will circle back? No. What a weird game. Neither side knows that each other are here. Oh, wow. Is Benares going to spot him? Ricky now moving right. Benares hears his footsteps. He stopped. Because he genuinely doesn't know. What the fuck? Before got the other truck bomb site as well, so Op 4 is going to go all in on the truck sites. Because if they can get their tank in there, they're good. The Blue 4 tank's coming up, though, on the MSR. I think this is going to tell where the game goes. If Blue 4 is able to snipe the tank, I think it's going to be GG. Because then they just get the infiltrator site, and then they disarm the bomb. There's 2 points to Blue 4 with a denial of 2 points potentially to Op 4. No way. They could also miss each other, but I think at this point, the question becomes, is the T-72 going to counterattack at that point? No. Tank's firing. He's shooting at the gas. No, the tank has to hear that. Yep, that's the gas getting hit. T-72 has no idea. Engine going on. Now, I think it's going to book it out of dodge at this point. The Leopard from BW can outperform a T-72 from RHS. Benares might try to crawl up and hit the tank, though, with AT. Meanwhile, back over here, you are seeing some firefighting between Blue 4 and Op 4 forces there. Flender running up. Benares literally within 5 meters of him. Benares is on a mission at this point. BRDM was just sniped by the tank. That was Op 4's AT vehicle. And now you're seeing the coax fire at Maiko on the river. No fucking way. Op 4's taken the southern truck bomb site, and they've got a VTR-80 Alpha and a BMP-3 to assist them. Blue 4's going to be outmaneuvered there. But this is the fight that I think matters more, because where these tanks end up is going to determine everything. Barrow's getting caught out of position and hit by Flender, but Benares still has an opportunity to move up to that tank and take it out with AT. The tank has no idea where the other tank is, and now that tank is pushing towards friendlies on the other side with the Marauder overwatching for it. Good teamwork by these two Vics. So if Op 4 actually disengages with that tank, I think Op 4 still has a good chance of winning. But if they lose that tank here, it's all over. And Benares, he's going to be disappointed. He has to put that AT shot in the engine to have a chance of disarming it. Actually, no, just disabling outright. But if he's able to then relay that position to the his tank, it should be GG at this point. Oh, Benares, you're so close. He's switching to AT. He's going for it. The rear hit. And that is the engine shot out. You see the smoke in the back, that damage texture. Engine, when you see it flick like that, that means its engine is, it's trying to turn the engine on, but it's unable to. So Benares pulling out. The crew gets out. I think it's still going to be repairable, but they need to make sure they do it quickly if they're even able to at all. But I think Benares just won this for Blue 4 right there. So Benares getting picked off by Ricky, but the fuel will drain quick on that. Then I think Blue 4 just won. Because yes, they're going to lose probably these two sites, but Blue 4 at this rate, they're going to be able to infiltrate this and get the info relayed to them in 2 minutes. Op 4 does not have those 2 minutes to then make it up to logistical storage, so Blue 4 is going to get those 2 points. Benares waking back up. Still some fight left in him, but he gets knocked out by Ricky. So Lux, I'm not sure if he's trying to do repairs on it. I don't even know if he can. But I think he's trying to crawl around it and do some ace interactions with it, potentially to repair the engine. Now, we're unable to tell how screwed that pick is. The gun is still okay for the most part. Not sure if he can turn it up, though. He can move it. But I'm not seeing any up-down movement. Oh, no, there's a little bit. Now he's panic firing at Ricky. Got some autocannon fire coming across, though. They're firing at the BRDM dismounts. Lolo's still going to hold that cabin, but I think we're GG'd. Seen some long-range fire from the Luxes as well. Didn't realize all these were burnt down. But that's a really
Finally
nasty
was
hill
able
for them to
catch
be
one
on.
of your streams. How's your day?
Sculpt, it's going well. We're going to do some pay for pain dev and some other stuff, but thank you for asking, man. Thanks for the 6-month resub as well. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you're going to kick out of this scenario. And I hope you stay for pay for pain. Well, development, not actual. The actual's on the weekend. So Lolo was able to put some shots in Naughty and just knocked out UN with a freaking great spray there. Lolo is out of AT, though. Nass is coming up to hit him. Yeah. Caught in the reload. I think it's GG. Blue 4 is going to win this one. OFCRA is going to clean up, get cleaned up by some of these Blue 4 guys. The Marauder pushing over in the open. I just think that's it. You know? Blue 4 have some forces over here. Someone back there has a long-range radio, though. They're going to be able to get that disarmed. What's scaring me here is we're seeing OPFOR firing on Blue 4. This shows that OPFOR is completely disorganized at this point. They don't know where each other are. Miko would have, I think, might have gotten knocked out by a friendly, because now you also have Ricky joining in. I think this is it. OPFOR has the bomb sites back under their control, but that's 2 points. Blue 4 is going to get 2 points on the Logivic. So how does Blue 4 score the remaining points it needs to win? So we're probably going to see Blue 4 take the Infiltrator kit. I think the truck bomb just went off. Oh, shit. Yeah, that truck bomb went off. Okay, what about the southern one? Did it go off? No, that one's still alive, but... Yeah, the northern one is, Yeah, the texture doesn't exist anymore, sir. Wow, okay. I don't even know where that Vic flew. It's probably somewhere up in the heavens at this point. So 1 point up for grabs left in the center. There's also the supremacy bonus that Blue 4 could be vying for, but... I don't know, man. Looks like they got the turret rearmed. The engine stopped on catching fire, so they might have gotten it repaired in time. The question is, does it still have fuel to drive? So they would have gotten that intel by now. So what I need to see... Yep, they defused it. It's now a blue light. So that's 2 points for Blue 4. OPFOR has gotten at least 1 point because a truck bomb went off. So how, I don't know, but it's, yeah, it's definitely went off. So now the remaining ways either side can score a point. Oh dear, that's the tank shooting. He is shooting the ass of that tank. And that tank has no idea where those shots are coming from. The tank is guessing. What is this? Oh, that ricocheted off the ground. What the actual fuck? The amount of tank rounds that were put into this thing, though. I'm surprised that 72 is not dead. Like, the turret is still active, too. The amount of rounds that went into the turret itself. That's ridiculous. Have they dismounted at this point? I think they're giving up, because that thing just... I think the gun finally got disabled. That's why. That thing's taking a freaking beating. See some of the ERA plates shot out. That was just a mess. Okay, so the remaining ways OPFOR can score points is one more point on the truck bomb south by covering that, then they can tie the game. Blue 4 can get their third point, though, by taking the southern position, because I think they're trying to send forces here to check if they can still take that, and that's going to be a no. So OPFOR's turned this into a one-objective area where they can do an all-eggs-in-one-basket defense with their remaining force, which is going to be really beneficial for OPFOR to potentially just hold this area. So I can see Blue 4 trying to counterattack it. If they're able to switch this to Blue 4, then it's GG. Blue 4 wins. They're able to pull that northern garrison down to do that. Caricola's crippled, but got that tandem heat. I think that's cook-off smoke. Yep. So he knocked out Blue 4's transport Vic. And now Blue 4 is scrambling to try to run back to figure out what caused it. Snake Doctor spotting Caricoa here. Wow, that grenade bounce. It was a great throw by Snake Doctor. Really bounced it over the wall. Now the main fight's going to be in here where Blue 4 is outgunned. A little bit of static there, my bad. Let's see, with 13 minutes remaining though. I think this is going to be a tie game. OPFOR is going to be able to get both of those truck bomb sites but Blue 4 got the infiltrator cabin for the logistics storage thing done. And I don't think Blue 4 has enough time to either eliminate up to 5, to get up 4 to 5 or less people for the 2-point supremacy bonus in this time. So I think at this point, Op4 is just fighting the tie, knowing that Blue 4 has the numerical advantage here, especially the vehicle advantage. But I don't see how Op4 is going to think to actually win this one. But that's fine. You can fight to tie at this point, because Blue 4 have been really aggressive from the get-go. So just deny the enemy the victory at that point. I can understand the thrill in that. Especially when they had the BTR-80 Alpha here, the BMP-3 ready to go in case Blue 4 makes an aggressive action. With now 12 minutes remaining, Blue 4 is going to have to rush in, and that could cause Blue 4 to get sloppy to play right into Op 4's defensive strategy. And so Dreddy here, he has nothing against that tank. But now we're probably going to see Blue 4 rally their vehicles here and try to make a spearhead. Don't do it. Yeah, the river, it's slightly marked on the map, but not too much. Tanks firing up here, I guess in the opposite direction of those tracers. Stradler got caught out by Karikoa here. He's still shooting at it. That's adorable. I mean, every second he stalls the tank, though, is a good second spent there. Marauder is going to push in, though. Truck Bomb went to Blue 4 for a second before getting switched back. I think because Op 4 was just playing around with it. And there's a naked guy. Ah, yes, a civilian streaker. The Russians don't know what to do with him. Is it a war crime if he gets shot by either side? I don't really know. He's just following the Russians around. And Matoni now is shooting out the wheels of the Vic. For what reason, I do not know. Jericho is still crippled here. And the tank is firing inward. Not sure if they spotted Dreddy or not. He's backwards crawling. Oh, he's been spotted. That's adorable. That was actually adorable. Oh, God, what's going on with his head? Yeah, a play like that would really make your head spin, eh, guys? It's okay, I'm already drinking. Less than 10 minutes remaining. I think Op 4 is going to be able to tie this one up. Marauder's going to spearhead. Oh, God, Karikoa just got pseudo firing lined there. Yeah, that's a possibility. Maybe the Leopard was firing the wrong type of ammunition and the ERA was able to defeat the rounds. That would also make sense. Ah, there goes my drink. So yeah, with 9 minutes remaining, I don't see how Blue 4 is going to get those men in. They did get a Marauder to bring in 6 guys to push. I could see Blue 4 with these numbers getting in, but it's going to be a really tough fight. And Op 4 is going to be really quick to send in their IFVs to defend. But it's still going to rely on an infantry touching the Vic to change its side. Tough call either way. So we're just going to have to wait on Blue 4 to make the move here, and Op 4 is going to play pure defensive. Oh, so Massacre getting caught out of position there. Op 4 trying to engage some of Blue 4 here, getting picked off, though. Splendor, not realizing he's in a danger zone, looks towards where the contact are shooting at him from and gets picked off himself. 3 up, 4 down. And that quickly is not a good sign. More fire coming in from the right. Seven and a half minutes. Marauder's gonna come up the MSR here. 6-or getting knocked out by a grenade. BMP3 is coming around the left side. Where is the tank? Weasels are coming in though. BMP's gonna stop short right here. Weasels, I don't think spotted it. Tank is completely out of position. I think it's done for the day. BMP3 knocking out some bushes. Weasels don't notice because they're going south right now. Technically speaking, I could see Blue 4 also getting the supremacy bonus here if Op 4 gets shot up too much. 7 minutes is a lot of time for considering the fact that Blue 4 and Op 4 are this close together and the objective is literally right there. NASA trying to run up to get the objective. He takes fire from Matoni. Gets knocked out. Back to the house logic, making a run for it. Jonathan trying to tag him. There's no Op 4 force over here, though, to stop him. Other than what might be in these windows. Oh, but the frickin' BTR-80 Alpha decided to grace us with his presence and kill Jonathan. No, wait, Jonathan's Op 4. Whoever that was. So you're hearing AS Val shots going in. Trying to strike at Cheeseburger here as he pulls away. Marauder now backing off. We're down to almost 6 minutes now. More Blue 4 getting picked off. Dominic taking machine gun. The Marauder's now firing at that building. BMP3 was just engaged and destroyed by the 2 Weasels. Upward only has the BTR-80 Alpha. Less than 6 minutes. Marauder's gonna potentially try to flank around, take out that BTR-80. I think Blue 4 has this. It's gonna be a toughie. Op 4's trying to tie. But Blue 4 has just too many vehicles at their disposal, too many assets to work with, and they're just encircling Op 4 at this point. Op 4 need to get AT on that Marauder, or else it's gonna be GG. They do have an AT guy up here. He has a window that can strike it. He's gonna hear that autocannon. Oh, and the AT guy gets annihilated by the Marauder. Blue 4 starting to breach this building. Jonathan coming out with a suppressed AS Val, takes out one guy. Garrett trying to move around as Jonathan tries to avoid his fire and gets meleeed. 80 Alpha cooking off, it's dead. Op 4 is down to 6 guys. I think Blue 4 is going to be able to nab that supremacy bonus, and it's going to be GG. Blue 4 has 2 ways to win here. I think this is the end. Still have 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Nice. But Snakes is in striking distance to touch it. There is an AT shot. It was done by Skipu, who picked up that AT. Gotland's battle buddy getting taken out by Drago. He also took some shots himself. He is bleeding. Someone ran up and tried to touch the site though, but they were taken out by Matoni. Matoni also taking out that one AI. How much Op 4 do we have remaining? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drago getting the win on that fight. So if Op 4 lose 3 more guys, it's GG. So every Op 4 player has to be on point for the next 3.5 minutes. I think they could do it. Skipu getting Cheeseburger there. That AS Val at this range doing a really great job as a CQC weapon. So Garrett is too busy trying to bandage X42. Blue 4 doesn't have anyone left. These Blue 4 guys are trying to run into the AO. They could make it another minute or two. But they'd have to then immediately rush into the objective. The two Weasels staging to the south, looking around for targets to potentially pick off, but OFCRA doing a really good job staging around here. It's going to be up to 6 EME for Blue 4 to make this push. Maybe the tank will push up and dismount just to play the objective here. That's exactly what the tank is doing. Does Matt have AT? No. Dreek has AT. Oh, he's got a great shot. He needs to take it. Good side hit, but it wasn't enough. What the fuck are these made out of? 6 EME making their push. But OFCRA's pushing Ricky and Echo up. They got Clement knocked out. Shadow trying to fire from the roof. Echo flanking too far. Gets caught up by Alex. One of the Weasels trying to assist. It is the ATGM Weasel. He got shot in the face, though, by Drago. Oh, shit, the naked guy died. Oh, another OFCRA guy went down. The tank is now firing its coax. And Mikkel pushed up the commander, trying to catch Matoni, but Matoni gets him. How many OFCRA are still alive? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one guy unconscious. Is that it? If one more OFCRA guy dies, actually no, there's 6th. So if 2 more OFCRA die, or if Echo and one OFCRA guy dies, because Echo bleeds out, then it's GG. But the bomb has still not been touched. 30 seconds. Someone in that tank needs to dismount. And Blue 4 needs to get 2 more kills. Ten seconds. Callie getting out. I think he's going to be able to touch it. He gets slowed down. Nope, Matoni gets knocked out. And there are 5. Oh, if Derek gets knocked out. It's 140. It's 140. That should be GG. No. There it is. The bombs got defused last second. It just didn't get updated. How did the northern bomb get defused though? If it's a little weird. Either way, score says it's apparently to that they didn't get the supremacy. I'm gonna say tied game at that point, based off the markers, because they're still red. But all right. First buck true up to red 4. Second trump arguably blew up to red 4 as well. So yeah, enemy tank not in area, 0 points to red 4. So officially it's going to be a tie because supremacy wasn't calculated because there's 2 guys unconscious. So yeah, tie game. Damn. OFCRA literally had it down to the wire. Blue 4 just took it too slow, and OFCRA was able to play that strategy. Absolutely amazing game. But anyway, guys, I'm going to take a quick break just to lie down for a little bit. Patches, who's part of Pause, also asking me some questions. So I'll take a small break, come back, and we'll probably do like an hour or 2 of Pay for Pain development, making some crazy custom compositions, getting some reserves in for, what are they called? Not RSVPs, but maybe some pre-funding going, because furniture's expensive. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. Hopefully I'll see you in a bit. Otherwise, have a good one.